discussing throughout the entire day, Blacklist International has been undefeated, only dropping one game this entire season.
Yeah, so far they have had their series locked in, and that's something that we have to also think about here. Look at this, we got Oh My Venus already super low. That is the weakness of the mid lane matchup. The essence that they're thinking about will suffer a lot of damage. Wisp almost takes him out. A little bit of healing from Esson. Can they be able to supplement what little HP that they have right now on the mid lane?
Man, if only somebody had a flame shot.
Flame shot, right? Would have been great. If RTC had a flame shot, that would have been a different story. But obviously the flicker also helped a little bit in that early game.
And that's a different story in the top lane. It's Edward taking down 3 Martisi in the top lane. Not typically you would expect a Paquito and a Uranus. Paquito's always gonna outshine the Uranus in the early game at the very least. Kosei and Oheb in the bottom lane matchup, the bottom lane mages matchup, which I feel is the important factor here.
Yeah, they also mentioned that Oheb has been playing. I don't think he has a loss yet on the Harith. He's been playing it a lot in the season so far. He has not lost on it.
That's an interesting stat line.
Interesting stat line. Yeah, we have to check that. I'm 90% sure of that stat, but I'm confident. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm confident about that.
Yeah, I mean, the way that Oheb has been playing, the Harith has been always for his safety. And speaking of safety, 3 Martisi, relatively unsafe right now, getting a little bit of support here from Unravel. Wise also in position. They have a significant level disadvantage as well. That is another kill onto 3 Martisi. That's going on to Edward.
3 Martisi really just not quite where you want to be at this point. But again, Chu also on the mid lane. I have a lot of faith in this guy. This guy has been unkillable in the previous days that he's played, almost unkillable. He's had one game where he didn't actually die all game, despite being the jungler.
He was that good. This
He's
kid.
just that good, man.
Chu, happy 18th birthday once again to you, and you're showing up in your birthday suit. No. No. Showing up in your... But you're just showing up when it matters. That's what matters there. As everything is looking pretty default here, Blacklist International, as always, secures the first turtle of the game.
Yep. Here we go. I think I kind of expect this kind of early game from Work. We talked about this, right? The early game for this level 4, level 5, they will go ham. They will go ham, and the healing is not going to kick in maybe until mid-game. As you can see, look at Esson.
All alone. Wise is there to back him up, but he doesn't need to. He'll be able to survive that. Meanwhile, bottom lane, a battle of the mages in the bottom lane. Kosei forced to Blood Orb out of there as Oheb's Zama Force and Synchrovisions are just way too much to handle.
Yep. There you go. So I think I was correct. I just checked with our stat boys on the bench. Yeah, Oheb only has one loss on it, on the Harry. And so far, stellar. Again, I'm 90% correct and 90% true.
What matters is that Oheb only has one loss.
He's pretty good on it.
He's pretty good on the Harris.
Pretty darn good.
And this is looking like a pretty good fight by Blacklist International. They may want to siege up this bottom lane to keep Kosei in a bad spot. The Mountain Shocker really dished out a lot of damage onto Kosei as well. They're getting priority off of this turtle that's spawning in about 20 seconds.
Yeah, and 3 Martisi, man. I hate to be this guy right now. Against the Paquito, this is the reason why he gets banned out so much. Even forced to flicker out of there, man. That hurt.
That hurts. That's almost 2 minutes without any escape options against this Paquito. And yeah, this isn't 3 Martisi's best lane for that matter, as Kosei tries to salvage this bottom lane. He'll want to try to push out the bottom lane, if anything, because the turtle is being started out by Blacklist International this time.
Yeah, this is an easy turtle just because of Mountain Shocker able to isolate and get the information before you go ahead and finish it off. And I think we might see a bit of a dive here, trying to go for the steal and Chu. Not hitting the mark.
Misses the mark on the Retribution, forced to back off. Good call on Work also force, actually, to not force the fight even. Don't want to add to the losses that they currently have, because there is a 2k gold advantage.
I think Chu was close. He almost got the retry. He was going for the 4 rows retry, but obviously the timing's better on Wise.
And then meanwhile, 3 Martisi again in a scuffle here with Edward, and he's not having a good time at all. Gets knocked up. Edward still doesn't actually have the knockout punch available. Bottom lane, Oheb and Esson. Esson's hiding in the bush, gives Oheb the speed boost that he needs just to stay alive. And Kosei will be forced to reset his HP as Arteezy and Chu will try to get the kill onto Wise, and they do. Edward next in line, went for the knockout punch on the Arteezy. Angelus Heartguard is keeping Chu alive, gets a lot of damage out from that Thorned Rose, and will be forcing Oh My Venus to rotate to the top lane to help him out. Meanwhile, 3 Martisi looking in for the dive to help assist the team to secure the kill onto Oh My Venus, but he still manages to make it out alive. Chu, low on HP, gets the kill regardless. Edward looking to oblige with another team fight. The Mountain Shocker will deter them from pushing forward. They manage to survive, and Work Oster Force wins that team fight at the top lane.
Chu is an absolute beast, my friend. I feel like there's just... Man, do you see the moves on that guy? Even without the heart guard, that should have been that would have been smooth as silk. Yeah.
This kid, Chu.
With the addition of Unravel, I think the puppet strings just help out a lot as well.
That's true.
Keeping everyone on target. The Thorned Rose targeting was on point.
On point, yeah, I agree. And he just has this level of mechanics that if he plays a little bit more in the, as long as MPL continues and he's still playing, we're gonna see a huge improvement on this kid as we are starting to approach the mid-game stage of the game. Turtle once again being started off by Blacklist International, but this time Work Oster Force has a good spot to actually contest this. They're already starting it off. 3 Martisi, Arteezy, and the rest of the Work Oster Force lineup is actually here in the back lines, dealing a lot of damage, finally securing the Turtle themselves. Arteezy will fall down. The Heart Guard will be forced onto Chu. They don't have a lot of damage output now because most of the members of Work Oster Force is finally down and out.
Before that fight story, I was about to say that Turtle was going to be big for Chu. He gets it, he did get it now, but the team just kind of fell apart afterwards.
Yeah, after that, I feel like it should have been a complete call to just back off. Tried to go for a pickoff onto Chu there, as Oheb secures a solo kill onto 3 Martisi in the bottom lane. He's not having a good game.
Yeah, for sure. And Blacklist is just having a great time in this one. Just pushing it. They're definitely more consistent, obviously.
Oh, man. Chu able to burst out Esson immediately half HP. This may be a team fight that has to go in favor of Work Oster Force.
Yep.
They back off.
They're going to back off. They have to right now. Wise is just not ready to go as of yet. And again, Chu is pushing as much as he can, as much damage as he possibly can, each and every minute, trying to force someone to back off. But again, there's just a lot of regeneration on the Blacklist. It's so difficult to make them go back to base. Like, the only way you can do that is actually secure a kill at this point.
That's the only way that they're going to go home.
The only way you're going home, because otherwise they'll just run to Oh My Venus.
Yeah, run for help, give them the healing they need, get back into the fight. Aside from the Revitalize that every single one of them has, too.
Yeah. You know what? Actually, the thing here is that Esson's gonna... Basically, Oh My Venus is like a hospital, and Esson's like an ambulance. You got a little bit of first aid onto Esson, but when you really arrive on Oh My Venus, you can go back on the field. You get full healing right away.
Speaking of ambulance, call an ambulance, but not for Blacklist International because Kosei, in a tight spot, will be able to survive at the cost of a turret.
Yep.
They're forcing a lot of attention on the top lane as well. The Turtle is up as at the same time. Blacklist International just wanting to siege this themselves. And there's nothing much the Work Oster Force can do here for now. They need to wait for Chu to spike up even more.
They went for a siege, and they're still at full health. They can even take more, especially if the lifesteal, anti-lifesteal happens.
3 Martisi, not the best game. 0-4-1 currently on this Uranus, but this is just the mid game. We'll expect a difference here in the late game, but the question I have for you now is, will we even expect a late game coming?
That's the thing. It's going to be difficult to actually picture a late game where Kosei is going to be super strong on the Alice. Obviously, he's got some damage, but he has not joined the team fights. If you notice, Kosei has been soloing it up, single-player style on the bottom side, and it's not helping work at all right now. Unless maybe later, if they make a good 5-man team fight, but right now, work is just going downhill slowly but surely, unless they step up.
Yeah. They need to really stomp the yard with the Blacklist International here, but Blacklist International are the ones that are stomping the yard. They're already on the doorsteps of Fort Austin first. They're just taking care of a little more towers here. But Chu in the back lines will try to go for the assassinate. The Thorn Rose catches Chu. The Heart Guard won't even save Chu anymore. That was a questionable play from Chu. He shouldn't have dived there.
Yeah, you already know the healing of an Estes, man. It's like you're fighting under Fountain, for Christ's sake. It's gonna be so difficult for them to actually do anything, especially with Chu all alone. Even with the Heart Guard, you can't do much against this Death Ball.
And 3 Martizi can't do much escaping from Blacklist International. They are all on his tail. He's under their radar. And there's no doubt that he will fall down. Meanwhile, Paquito, Edward takes down Arteezy solo.
Nice blocking as well from the domain of the Moon Goddess there, making sure that you can't go anywhere. I love it. I love the cohesion here for Blacklist. This is just so standard Blacklist International for me right now.
This is the code that they have, and as far as we can tell, game number 1, Work has not discovered the code that can break them.
Yep. This Estes definitely showing up on the mid game. I told you, man. When you reach mid game, these guys are gonna be unlimited.
Unlimited, and Chu very unlimited with the attempts to really dive in from the back lines. If anything, I feel like the best course of action for Chu here is to just go for a single man pickoff and then back off, wait for the team to re-engage.
Yeah, that should be it. There's just no other way to go around it. And I think the observers definitely agree. You gotta highlight this guy, man. Oh my Venus is just popping off. The timing on the domain of the Moon Goddess is just so good. I feel like they're just going everywhere they want to go because of this guy.
Yeah, and speaking of everywhere, Blacklist is all over the Lord right now. They are starting it off. Work, Osterforce not in the position to actually go for a fight themselves. 3 Martizi trying to make plays elsewhere, just trying to force out a rotation on the top lane. And Edward will be obliging that rotation in the top lane.
Yeah, I think Edward just doesn't have any problems against the Uranus at all at this point, right?
Yeah.
Especially with the Necklace of Durans already online for Blacklist. You can't fight. You can't team fight properly, so he is definitely forced to just split it off.
And Arteezy can't fight as well. He got demolished there by Ohebo. Nothing much. And with that being said, Blacklist International finally starting out the siege here on the mid lane inhibitor turret. Chu once again diving in, gets stunned out, forced to use the Thorn Rose, and there's nothing he can do. He gets completely bursted off. The only jobs for Oh My Venus and Esson here is to keep the entire team alive, and they're doing a very good job at it. We will start focusing on the bottom lane inhibitor, and it's all down to the wire here for Work Osterforce. Blacklist International will go for the end. Despite the Winter Truncheon being popped there by Kosei, there's nothing much that he could do actually.